Mikey and Dan from Priestess. You guys have had quite a whirlwind 2008. What are the things you're excited to be doing now that you're home in Montreal?
Wow. Well, I'm going to Japan on Monday, so until then, I'm just going to be sitting down in my apartment.
What are the places that you've been with the band that people probably wouldn't be expecting that you've been?
Well, let me think of Brandon, Manitoba.
Yeah. Golden, British Columbia.
Yeah.
I know that I saw on your blog you're
Sudbury, Ontario. Sorry.
Yeah, that's random. You're making a joke about starting a website with restaurants in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's hard to find food, I would imagine,
yeah.
in these places.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your hometown spots in Montreal? Like, if you were to suggest spots for other bands that would come in here.
Oh, well, I'd suggest to go to Schwartz's. Obviously, that's a pretty obvious. If they eat meat, they definitely have to have a smoked meat sandwich. Everyone knows that.
This is a Mikey question, man.
That's true. I'd tell them to go to the Belle Province on Saint Laurent and Saint Catherine, just because they have a good poutine there. They're not all the same. They're not always good.
So you recorded a new record recently, and after that went on the road. Is it interesting testing your new material for fans when they've never heard it?
Yeah. It was you know, the first couple of nights, you know, we were getting used to it. We just gotten out of the studio. We hadn't played it yet, so. But once we got into it, you know, about 3-4 shows in, I mean, yeah, no, people were really. It went across really well.
We're confident with the material and we like it, and you know, as long as we can play it properly, then I think people really got into it. So.
Is it a big evolution, big step up compared to the first record?
I mean, it's musically, I'd say, more complicated. It's a bit heavier. I mean, heavier is subjective. It's kind of in the more another step into the metal realm. But it's yeah, no, I mean, we think it's amazing.
I know that you guys were recording in Los Angeles. You also had one of your songs in the Entourage show. Mm-hmm. Do you have any Entourage-like moments while you were recording out there?
Did we? I never saw it.
No, not really. I mean, did we see any like celebrities or like not?
Oh,
not really. We don't really go
really,
and hang out in the same kind of environments, you know. So and plus, when you're in Los Angeles recording a record, most of the time's in the studio.
Yeah,
so.
You're really just in the studio all the time. It's not a.
But you guys did have some noise complaints, no?
Oh, did you hear about that?
I heard about that.
Oh yeah, well the first studio that we were at was this little converted bungalow in the hills. It was really nice until we got to Mike was overdubbing some bass parts, and I guess the vibrations and the volume was so loud that the police came to the studio and gave us a complaint. We had to move to another studio.
How was the recording experience with Mr. Schiffman?
It was awesome.
Yeah? How'd you guys connect with him? Because he's got quite an impressive resume.
Yeah. He's the bulk of his resume is built on his work as an engineer, working under Rick Rubin. And so he's now, sort of going off on his own as a producer. And he's done quite a few pretty cool records already, too. And he just heard of us and approached us, and
wow,
yeah, which was good too because it was about our third attempt at a producer, in 2008. So it was when we met, I got the impression that he understood where we were coming from, like pretty much right away. And as it happens sometimes, you argue with your producer over stuff, but we really didn't. He was just really let us, run free with it.
We had in the studio a few weeks ago Dragon Force, and they were saying that they can't stand Guitar Hero questions anymore because it's all they get asked.
Yeah.
Has it been a strain on you guys as well?
Well, I get it. I get them asked all the time, but I mean, I can stand it.
I mean, Guitar Hero has such a crazy mass appeal.
Yeah.
Does it give you hopes at least that like so many people have heard of you through that game that you guys could one day like have a lot more mass appeal.
I think that it definitely does, like, you know, it opens you up to people who wouldn't ordinarily go and, you know, enter your name in the Google site and whatever, and just it's kind of it's just a good, you know, just kind of in a random way that like radio would have been, you know, like if radio was playing music like that, you know, like just turn on the game because everybody has it, and you know it's one of the levels in the game, so you'll eventually get to it, and just, you know, millions of people have heard it now, you know, because of that game. So.
Spin Magazine always talks about the Montreal scene, and it's always Arcade Fire, the Deers, the Stills. Is it frustrating to not be included in those comparisons?
It doesn't bug me because, I mean, it's just it's one of those things, you know, like that really we get asked that every single time is, you know, like, oh, you guys don't seem to be like the Montreal sound, and it's like people just aren't aware that there isn't a Montreal sound. You know, there's just a lot of Montreal bands, and just these days, you know, like it was in the 90s, alternative rock, whatever that was big, and now it's indie rock, whatever that is big, you know, so it's like, you know, people look at Montreal and like, hey, there's, you know, 5 really popular indie rock bands from here, so, you know, that must be their sound, you know, but it was like, you know, we've always had a huge diverse scene here where, you know, nobody, you know, there isn't one, you know, sound here by any means at all.
You guys have had some pretty amazing tours with probably some of your favorite bands, or at least some of the biggest bands out there. If there's someone that, if you could have like your dream tour, who would you want to go on tour with that you haven't met yet?
Like alive? Like something that could actually happen?
Yeah, alive. 2009. We'll wish it for you for 2009.
I'd say Melvins.
Oh, that's an amazing idea. Yeah.
All right.
I'm with him on Melvins, yeah.
Well, then we're going to wish you a good 2009 with the tour of the Melvins.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.